polarity. We're going to be talking about integrating your shadow side because without darkness, there can be no light. And I've been doing my shadow work journal, been getting back into the psychology of everything, and balancing out with the spirituality of everything. Um, and I realize we all speak from a place of unhealed trauma and we project that onto each other, and sometimes we feel like we're getting the right messages because we resonate with it so much. Um, but in actuality, we are only still staying hindered. We are only still staying unhealed and causing some type of blockage or resentment. And if you're operating from a space of unhealed trauma, then you're not really operating in your authenticity, right? Because there are still some untouched things that have happened to you. There's still some things you didn't really process, reflect on, and heal from. So even the way that you lead in the world, even your career, even the relationships and how you navigate through the world, pretty much sums up just about how unhealed you are. Like if you're a person that is in like a humanitarian field, 9 times out of 10, you're maybe possibly like this good person who just wants to give back, who may have experienced um, other people who weren't the best towards you. And I know that there was this doctor, she's more of a spiritual soul doctor, not an actual, I have a master's degree doctor. Um, and she speaks from like a spiritual experience or whatever the case may be. And she was mentioning that there's really no such thing as karmics. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all just, and this was someone who I resonated with in the beginning or middle of my spiritual journey, and then I just started getting into this confused energy, like am I doing this right, am I doing this wrong? So the end result is just compassion, self-love, loving your shadows, because you loved all versions of you before somebody rebuked you, right? Reprimanded is the word. um Before they shamed you, before they made you feel guilty, you know? So maybe some of you guys should get into shadow work prompts, people on YouTube who talks about it, or the literal shadow work journal, okay? Deceit is on the back of the deck, and then the angel of love. So I'm just getting this separate message that you're supposed to come back into like a loving space. You're supposed to love yourself, your whole self, even the things that you hide, or that you don't like about yourself, so that you can actually realize why people are who they are today, and basically the psychology of it all. So the new moon could be very significant. Maybe some of you guys could sync with the moon and use the moon's magic and power to call in certain things, to come into a clear slate, a clear, just rewriting everything. And the soul doctor that I'm talking about, she goes by Dr. Yano. Shout out to her. She's amazing. Um, she talks about chakra healing as well. Really big on chakras and really big on taking accountability and realizing that you're only mirroring people. Like if you see these people as narcissistic, then maybe you are narcissistic. It's just like she speaks from this certain spectrum. And when I was heavily resonating with that before, because I felt like we were so connected, we didn't even know each other, and we thought like the same, or we had the same knowing. And then it's like later on I just started getting shifting into like a whole nother belief or whatever the case may be, because I started being confused. And today she was speaking on, today is April 6th, it's 5:45 p.m. We are still experiencing a Mercury retrograde. But yeah, she started speaking about how she was also confused on her journey and whatever the case may be, but she's gotten back into where she needed to be. She doesn't believe that music can hinder you. She's a firm believer, and I don't want to say believer because she's big on knowing. It's very different from beliefs. Beliefs are basically you know you don't really know if it's the truth or not, but you believe in it. There's no facts. She's big on the abbreviation of fear, which is false evidence appears real. But that's not really what this message was about. It was mainly about you guys integrating your shadow side, because there can be no light without dark. Understand the law of polarity. It's funny because I was using my energy oracle cards, and once upon a time I used to mix my cards together, and this card was just hanging on out. So synchronicities are very, very huge. And I feel like if you guys start operating in the balance of psychology and spirituality and things like that, neuroscience or whatever the case may be, then life will be much more easier for you, and you will stop feeling like you're doing something wrong, and you will just start living in what's true to you, what resonates to you, and what's your knowing, rather than beliefs of others, projections, fears, restrictions, right? So like I said, a lot of you guys could really use this new moon's energy to manifest your desires. Okay, I'm also seeing that there's a change in direction happening. You're being encouraged to set your intentions if you're not already. I'm seeing that a new cycle begins. But of course, it always starts with you. So she was talking about all the things that she's experienced in life. She once had to like let it all go as if it never happened. Okay? She said that she was used to people calling her delusional and like all of these things. And she even mentioned that sometimes you have to be a bit delusional, or you're going to start kind of losing your mind, basically. Spiritual psychosis or something like that could be very significant. All right, I'm also seeing don't give up here. So you're being encouraged to not give up with whatever that you're going through, your healing journey, your spiritual journey, this human experience. All right, and germination is also here. And the Emperor, when I split the deck, is the divine masculine. So a lot of us, we were always, there's good parts of us and there's unhealed parts of us, right? There's the pure parts of us and there's the unhealed parts and the aspects. So she also used this saying that, you know, this is like false. The life that you're living right now is not real. I don't want to say false, but it's just, it's not real. So it's easier for you to not take things to heart. And when you pay attention to the mirroring effect, that the world on the outside is a reflection on the world on the inside, that can also really help you find inner peace and, you know, compassion for the world around you. Now, for the chaotic things that are going on in the world, for the people who are not doing shadow work, etc., there's many techniques that you can use, but more of them are breathing exercises, meditation, journaling. There's something else. But yeah, sometimes we can get caught up and lost in what's happening in this 3D plane, but the main energy is love. Okay, self-love, and self-love is really just loving your whole self, okay, unconditionally. Therefore, you will be able to love everyone else. And when you do the shadow work, you will be able to realize, you know, why people are the way they are as well. Like the people that hurt you, they really didn't mean to hurt you. They were just people who've been hurt before as well, and they just have those unhealed, you know, like take nothing personal, right? So 8:11 on the clock. Yeah, some of you guys are experiencing a death, and it's funny how this card is coming up, because when Dr. Yena was mentioning death, she was mentioning like the official death and rebirth, and it's basically, it popped up in my brain and then I lost it. I'm currently in the space of needing to do mental healing because of all the trauma that I've experienced, so my brain kind of tends to push things to the back of my mind, or, you know, I'm currently going through that right now. So I lost whatever I was gonna say, but it brings me right back to forgetting everything that once happened to you, okay, and rewriting your new life. Okay, this says complete renewal, abrupt change, total overhaul, over and out, breakup, new start, let it go, endings, beginnings. All right, and then we have the Ace of Wands. So this is the new beginning here, the death, the rebirth, and the new beginning. All right, so being in this space is going to give you a new passion for love and life. Okay, you're going to be in this energy of attracting or being attractive. I'm getting the energy, go for it. All right, I'm seeing aphrodisiac, igniting desire, engagement, chemistry, fertility. All right, all of the chakras are very significant, but the chakra that is coming out is the fifth chakra, which ties to Archangel Gabriel. And the fifth chakra is the throat chakra. All right, it talks about I speak. Okay, so